Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 91 of the EE PowerTalk. My name is Elvis.
My name is Daddy Blessing. Welcome to episode 91 of the EE PowerTalk. In this particular episode, we're talking about the power of starting small and growing, building systems. And in this context, we are talking about businesses. And both of us are in business.
Yes.
In as much as we are focused in freelancing and all that, it's always business. We have registered businesses. It doesn't mean just because you're a freelancer that you're operating under the radar of the government. We pay taxes. We have that system. To some extent, we have teams and people that we work with. But it wasn't always like this. Yeah, sometimes you have to be frank and free with people that you just don't wake up. There is somewhere you started.
True.
Personally, I would say something like DB Studios. It just started with a dream. Yeah.
It started with a dream.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to be a majestic and a huge content creator, and I wanted to do my own productions. And I wanted to bring a change into how things are done. Number one, the reason why I went into now production fully is because personally I couldn't afford the videographer, I couldn't afford an editor, I couldn't afford all those things. So I looked for ways that I can simplify my production, and I started with a mobile phone. Nilikuwa na Tecno Camon 16, ilikuwa inatoka moto, but it had a good camera.
You had a Tecno Camon 16?
Yeah.
Camon?
Yeah.
Nilikuwa na ingine ilikuwa inaitwa H3, simu mbovu sana.
So now when I started creating content, before now creating content, I had like a small itel. Kalikuwa kanaona giza. Then I did not buy. I barter traded. Kuna muluya fulani alikujanga nyumbani. Akaona kiatu yangu. Akasema aki nani? Nipatie hiyo kiatu na kupatia simu. So he gave me an Xperia 1.
Sony Xperia?
Yeah.
For a shoe?
Yeah, for a shoe.
Timberland?
Ilikuwa kiatu kali.
Timberland?
Yeah.
Wajaluo na Timberland, I guess. Yeah.
So I barter traded that. So my very first YouTube videos are na huko 2017, 2016-ish. Zilikuwa all shot with a phone. Kuna tu comedy fulani, tuko private. Aziko muted, aziko deleted, ziko private. When that time comes, I will share for people to see where we came from. So for content creation, I started with what I had. That was a mobile phone. So the power of starting small gave me that space to grow. Starting big has no problem, and don't get me wrong, if you have the ability to start big, please start. But I think it denies you the opportunity to learn, to take care of that which you have earned pole as you're growing. Because wacha nikwambie, ukiletewa mtu mwenye amemaliza shule na mambo yake iko sawa, uambiwe sasa now transfer details akue your son and you don't have to take care of him, yeye akienda apigwe teke na huko, you won't feel pain. But a son you have raised from kakiwa day one, now ako a huge full grown man, usikie mama imemfanyikia, as a parent you'll feel it. Yeah, you'll feel it kwa sababu you have watched this person grow from the ground up. So as far as my business is concerned, I started with a phone. DB Studios was born from a phone. A Sony Xperia 1 ya muluya kutoka Western.
Alienda na kiatu. I think people, how many followers do you have on TikTok?
Right now 80.4. Yeah,
80,400.
Yeah.
Right now people look at what you have at the moment. They ignore the journey. Yeah. I normally show people screenshots za TikTok yangu. Ilikuanga na account warning at 1,000 followers. Ilikuwa na warning already. And like, I think people have this idea that you got here,
yes,
magically. You got at this particular place, yes, magically. Like ukiangalia some of the things, like I'm able to do websites so well because it's something I started doing like over 5 years ago.
Yes.
Naeza keti nichore logo, like nonanga, I normally see people struggling with vitu kama posters. Poster inani taking like 10 minutes maximum.
Yes.
And this is because of being able to start from one place. Struggling, nilikuwa natengeneza poster moja na karibu siku mbili. Because you're doubting yourself.
Yes.
But then there's a point it gets now where you perfect it.
Yes.
But you have to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking on the content creation space, I think watu wanangojeanga for the perfect conditions to actually get to start.
Which actually never exists.
Unaona venye tunasema about the DJ Osmo Pocket 3. Now the Osmo Pocket 4 is about to come out.
Correct.
Someone is saying, I'm waiting to buy the Osmo Pocket 4.
Yeah.
And I can bet you, hata ikitokea hatafanya content
atangoja 5.
There are people, by the way, who are very good at talking. Kuna kitu nakwambia inaitangwa mental masturbation. Mi nakwambia hiyo kamera ikitokea, ile content ndakuwa na shoot. In fact, some of the best freelancers don't have MacBooks.
Yes.
They have HP and Dell laptops. Kuna mtu anazemanga, the only time I'll start freelancing is when I get a MacBook. But you can't start with what you don't want to start with what you have.
Yeah.
Like when I was starting freelancing, sikuanga na lapi. Nilikuwa naomba watu laptop.
The laptop I started with, it's like a small Toshiba. Ilikuwa ina take 15 minutes kuwaka.
Ile yenye ulikuwa unafungua ukishikilia vitu zisianguke.
Yes,
na inakupiga shock.
Absolutely. Inakulima.
I had a Dell Latitude.
Yeah.
That thing was heavy. Nilienda kuona client nayo nikaitoa hivi akaniambia, kwani hii ni ya mwaka gani?
Yeah.
By then the client had a business laptop.
Very sleek.
Kale kanafanyiwa hivi.
A yoga one.
Kwanza this is a yoga 7. Like you can flip it. Yeah. I worked hard to just buy this laptop. Sikudanganya.
Yeah.
Because even this one is heavy, by the way. Victus. Na by then naiekanga kwa kiti ya gari. Gari nafikiria ni mtu inaanza kulia mshipi.
Funga belt.
Jua venye it's heavy.
Yeah.
True, by the way.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, when I see such instances, it reminds me of where I came from. Like, sometimes I look at the content creation space. Like, I like watching the videos I used to shoot kitambo. Nimeshoot video hadi nikiwa kwa msitu.
Yeah.
Nimeshoot video sijui nikiwa wapi kwa shamba. And I look at those things I used to do. They've shaped me to be who I am today.
Absolutely. And maybe to veer off kidogo, there's something called the giant leap or the big leap that people think that's how things are supposed to be. I used to think that siku moja tu nitaamka niekelee bet ya 100 Kenya shillings nikule jackpot. And that's how my life will change.
Tengeneza milioni 3.
Yeah. So that spirit of thinking that one day, out of nowhere, me not putting effort or not showing anything that I can offer of value, will somehow turn and give me some sort of, I don't know, money from I don't know where, or influence from I don't know where. So I had that obsession that maybe one day, because especially in a betting, nilikuwa nasema wacha leo niekelee, inaweza kuwa ni siku yangu, mpaka unaanza kumanifest. Hii 100 million aki nikitaive ni 10 million, niko na 90. Nikiwa na 90 million nikiwa 22 years aki, kusema tu kweli,
niko mbele.
I become the first Kenyan millionaire. But now first Kenyan millionaire ukiwa 22, then what?
In fact, by the way, let me tell you one thing. Unaona hiyo story ya mtu kufikiria hivyo ati you can get ukipatiwa hiyo 10 million at 22, believe me, 6 months after umepatiwa hiyo 10 million,
yes,
people will not know where it is.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about money, you will have 100 million, then something tells you in your brain, the same way I made 100 million, I can make 200 million. So you gamble everything. You will and right now, it's not now the sports betting, it's casinos, it's the heavy hitting of gambling and all that. Because after million, something tells your head, there's another level called billion. Yes, because money is never enough. Once you hit a billion, let's say you hit it, your brain will tell you, sir, there's a level called a trillion. So if you haven't really built discipline on how to build these things one step at a time or brick by brick, yes, sometimes something may happen in your life and you take a leap of 10 steps forward, but not the whole way. There is no way you will wake up and have a whole leap that umefika. No, that does not happen.
Speaking of that, I was reading somewhere something by Aliko Dangote. Africa's richest man.
Correct, I saw it.
The young people who think that I've gotten where I am overnight. It has taken me 30 years.
30.
you know, nilikuwa nafanya content creation and I was like, in the next 2 years nitakuwa na 5 million followers. Kuna mahali nilifika nikasema
Yes.
Pole pole ndio mwendo.
Yes.
You realize, by the way, I don't know how truthful this is, but the longer a content creator takes to be famous and known, the longer it sticks.
Absolutely. The longer it stays.
Someone like Churchill is to be remembered all along.
Always.
But kuna comedian alivuma after 3 months, 6 months.
Forgotten.
An example of Ben Lines.
Quite
you see,
unfortunate. Yeah.
There's people think, you see, when you take that big leap,
yes,
you have to know and learn how to stay there.
Yeah.
So most guys don't know how to stay there. But now when someone takes steps,
yes,
figuring out systems, by the time anafika hapa,
yes,
their systems are ready. They'll stay there.
Unaona kama kale ka graph ka forex venye kanaendanga extreme highs and very low lows,
kanaenda kanashuka yote.
Yes. So if your life is like that, you're in a very risky position because you're gambling your life literally. You're supposed to have consistent ups, downs, but the trajectory is up. You see, in as much as you will have those down times, not as much as someone who has not mastered the art of balancing when you need to do some things, when you need not to. Because again, when you study the art of building pole, you'll understand the risks that you're not supposed to take and when not to take them.
True.
Another thing, starting where you are. You see, kuna watu tu wanangojeanga wakuwe na nyumba in the suburbs. Gigiri, the neighborhood,
in Gigiri,
the currents of the day, the runda, so that you can have the aesthetics of shooting that ideal content. First of all, who is your audience? Why do you want to show us a life that you have not yet achieved? Show us where you are. You see that authenticity, yeah? Even in business. Show us. Nimeanza kuuza sabuni ya maji. Support my business. I want one day to be like Bidiko, to be manufacturing bar soaps, and my approach is this and this. And the difference between these big companies and me is because I offer value on this and these ways. We might see like you are Delulu, but your consistency and the fact that you have tried to show where you have started. By the way, the price you pay to grow is shame. That is the ultimate price. So if you don't want to be ashamed in the internet, you don't want people to see like you are doing something that is delusional, you'll never start, because it will never make sense to people. And I repeat this, it will never make sense to people until it works. You are the only person who knows why you are pushing the way you are pushing. Yeah. So if I come and tell you something and you veer off and you start compromising because DB ameniambia hivi, DB ameniambia, it means you did not believe fully and 100% why you are doing what you are doing.
I honestly think, by the way, talking about that, let me give you this example.
Yeah.
People don't know that muscles don't grow in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, I heard something very interesting and I learned it. Mimi najua hivyo. That your muscles grow when you're resting. But for you to achieve that, lazima kukuwe na small, consistent changes.
Correct.
You have to start somewhere. Ukiambia mtu aende gym, have you ever seen this guy? Unaenda gym unakutabsia build vizuri. You're like, hey brother. Alafu unamuuliza amekuwa gym how long? Anakuambia 7 years.
I'm telling you.
Na wewe uko na utambi imefika binguni, unataka iishe within 2 days.
You from here to heaven.
You get? And the same thing, like, do you know, unaona utambi? There is nothing as easy as kupata utambi. Wewe kula tu machipo, kula daily.
Yes.
Me as a guy yesterday, he's smoking. Akona utambi imefika huku, hadi jacket, unaona jacket ni kama ita.
Yeah.
He's smoking, he's drunk. And they go like, what do you mean? You're all this.
Yeah.
Na hii unhealthiness. But
yani instead ya kumsalimia habari yako ni habari zenyu.
Habari zenyu. Yeah. Are you pregnant?
Yeah.
And like, I think people, if you go out to the gym, like
Yes.
let me use the gym example. Going consistently and working out consistently in the gym doesn't give you instant results when you try it.
Yes.
Ukitry mara ya kwanza.
Never.
Me, I went to the gym for 9 months. Sioni anything.
Yeah.
After like around the 15th month, nikaanza kunote, mikono imekauka bana. I'm like, nasikia back manze iko tu. So that's the first time I went to flex kwa kio ya bafu. Si gym. Ya bafu. Wezi flex kwa ya gym kuna wenyewe.
Yeah.
You know, the guys in the gym, wewe msee amekuwa gym 8 years.
Yeah.
Ana flex hivi. Wewe unaenda kuflex hata hakuna kitu inaonekana. But you come to the house, you motivate yourself. You're like, so this year is going to be my 3rd year in the gym.
Wow.
3rd year. But congratulations, hata sijafika penye nataka.
Bro, 3 years of consistency.
I show you.
That's discipline, my guy.
Let me show you one of the things I did. I went and generated an AI image of what I want to look like. Uliona? Sinaona hii picha?
Yeah. Safari bado.
Sinaona safari ni mrefu
bado.
Hii safari ni mrefu bado.
Safari bado.
But at least I'm heading
you're heading somewhere, yeah.
So, like, I realized that
Got tier 1.
Niko tier 1 bado for 3 years.
Yeah.
But I then got, because one of the things I've really learned is gotten a lot of mental clarity.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've learned is discipline. Going to the gym is going to teach you discipline. Have you ever, like, I was having an interesting conversation the other day. Why is it that you will never find military guys?
Yes.
You will not find them cheating on their wives. Most of the time. Yeah, wako hungry and all these things. But they don't struggle with something like discipline. They don't struggle with sleeping around. They don't struggle with sexual desires. Okay, quite maybe they might be. But the majority ones I've seen, I'm not saying police officers. Military.
You know, military is built on discipline and loyalty.
Exactly. And order. Like I came to, like I was, and that's one of the things I've learned, that I think it's now mandatory for the Kenyan young man to be subjected to military training.
Yes.
If I ever get to be president,
ombeni
Mungu sana.
Yes.
If I get to be president, I'm telling you, I'm bringing that as the most, because that's how you build discipline in men, not women. Men.
Hakuna mtu anafaa kufikisha miaka 24 kama hajaingia military.
24 you have to be in the military, and if you don't even have to join the military to serve.
I mean the between 18 to 24, that should be your service years.
Exactly.
Then unaachiliwa now to build yourself.
Exactly. And it's not even about you fighting wars. I like the NYS program.
Yeah.
National Youth Service. If like the NYS program could be turned into something that builds and cultivates discipline.
Yes.
Not to train people on useless things because it's a system. Like I'm thinking of NYS being a place where young people who are lost go to find direction and a course in life.
Yeah.
You go there to learn practical things that help you. It takes you 9 months.
Correct.
And you come back a reformed person. There's this one dude tulikuwa naye shule, went to military. Alikuwa, unaona wale watoto wanakuanga sumbua? Nilikuta, have you ever seen a straight kid? Mtu straight, like alikuwa naamka 5 anatuambia, hey, brother, tuamke. Hakuna mwanaume analala hii masaa. Like, brother, kwani kitambo huko unapenda usingizi? Kwani si ulikuwa unapenda usingizi kitambo? But right now that dude, after like months of training and months of cultivating discipline, it has now gotten into his head. Tunaamka asubuhi bana, msi anatufanyisha ma press ups. Ati you need to stay healthy. You need to stay healthy, sijui nini. Na nimko ushago ati imeenda nini. But it starts with the very simple things. Like if you want to cultivate discipline, wake up, spread your bed.
Absolutely.
If you don't even have to spread it yote fully. But just do something that is hard to do for most people. Go for a walk.
Even waking up itself, you see, when we say start small, we mean it. It is the microscopic things that people assume that, you know, the atomic.
Exactly. Atomic habits.
Yes. The things that tudogo that build up to the person that you are in a certain specific level. So now, when discipline kicks in, there's something called momentum. build discipline builds moment. You see, ushaiona inaitango nini? Kabaiskeli. When you're cycling, ufike mahali kwa mteremko. If you had good momentum, kuteremka hiyo mteremko itakuwa very easy. As compared to another guy who was not pedaling, alingojea force ya kuteremka. Mutafika, but yeye ata take time kufika. Because you were pedaling even before the mteremko started. So if you start building that momentum, sometimes you'll be achieving things so effortlessly because you are used to building brick by brick. And once something gets momentum, that's it. Sometimes ni vizuri to understand that when you are starting, sisi wote tunakuwa gari ya diesel. Engine ya diesel sometimes inaigizanga baridi. Na lazima uamke asubuhi kwanza uipige moto. Yeah? Inini kidogo for a few minutes, like 20 minutes before utoke nayo kwa barabara. Not like nowadays ukiwa na autocar unaipiga moto ukiwa umetoka. Kuna engine zile za kitambo na kila mtu anakuanga na that phase in their life. You have that phase in your life where engine yako lazima kwanza tuangalie kama maji iko sawa, kila kitu. Now those routines will make sure that this engine, the diesel engine that is you, will continue running until someday you become a hybrid. A hybrid now hautaki mambo mingi. You know, it's a service hapa na pale. Then later you become an autocar. An autocar is now a person who is very much endowed with whatever it is that you do. Your business is running smoothly, you have systems, you have all those things. And on top of that, hata kama gari yako iko automatic, you still need upgrades. You see? So, these small things never stop happening. You continue adding microscopic steps, or what do we call them? Microscopic changes to become a better person tomorrow. Because the guy you're competing with tomorrow is the guy that you are today. So you have to make sure that the guy you are today, una struggle nato tomorrow is not the same case you'll struggle with tomorrow. By the end of the day, you'll have dealt with the things that you're struggling with today. And when I mean today, simaanishi ati leo. I mean, don't be so straightforward. Simaanishi juu una struggle na vitu fulani, uamke kesho useme nimeacha sigara because I'm competing with the guy I was. No, doesn't work like that. It is small atomic changes that will blow up eventually, and once you achieve that which you want to achieve, it will not get you by surprise. Do you know why? You've been working. Ni kama mwanamke mwenye ako na mimba akizaa hakuangi surprised. When kubeba mimba, eventually what do you expect? The only thing she has is grateful that the child has come healthy. The only worry anakuanga nayo, what might be the complication after kuzaa. But kuzaa yenyewe, it is expected. Because after kubeba mimba, what else do you expect? Sini kuzaa? Yeah, absolutely.
Also, there's something I learned. Execution makes you fearless.
Yeah.
When you start executing, like, people right now don't understand. For you to be known, you have to give people a reason why you want to be known.
Absolute, 100%.
So if you're creating content on social media, it's a way for you to get known.
Absolutely.
But you can only get known when you execute. Yeah? Most people like, unajua mi wambia everyone, like anytime nikipata mtu namwambia, I go to the gym, I meet some people and I tell them, hey, by the way, what you do in the gym, instead of recording to put on WhatsApp status, see, you record and show people your fitness journey. Record yourself doing a workout. Hey, people are like, no, me, I don't want to be judged. People, I'm like, okay, if that is the fear you have, I like to say, then probably you might be the most stupid person in the world. Because if that's the only thing that you think about, like we've been fed with this whole narrative that you have to think about the negative repercussions of something before you do it. Look at it. You want to buy a laptop.
Yes.
Inakuanga na shida gani? Are you sure inaweza nifanye? You don't think about the good things.
Yes.
Like if you want to buy something, if you want to buy a BMW, go ask about the good things about it.
Correct.
So what makes this car unique? Not hii gari inaweza kuwa na shida, inaweza nisumbua after 2 years.
Pessimist.
You get? Most people think like that. Where you think that the only thing you have to do is think about the negative repercussions and effects that something might have for you. Now, instead of executing and growing steadily and slowly and starting somewhere, you're always thinking of starting. You never start somewhere, you're always thinking about starting.
And manifesting and telling people that you will start.
Dudes, there are dudes who used to like, mi nilianzanga TikTok 2022.
Yes.
Kuna wase tulikuwa nao TikTok. We used to be like live, tulikuwa tunaenda live kuchochana. Ile, I think you used to remember those live sessions. Yeah. So we used to go to live sessions. These jamas, up to date, they have like 1,000 followers. Mi niligonga times 600. Because like these guys were very good at talking. Me was very good at executing.
Yes.
Be very good at less talk and more execution.
Absolutely.
The more you execute, the slowly you build something.
Absolutely.
But if all the time utakuta mtu tu they are, hey, okay, sasa itafanya nini unajua? You tell me something? Like me, if you come and tell me something like, Elvis, if you did this for your brand, it could actually help you. I don't even waste time. I don't even start thinking about sijui SWOT analysis. I will do it. Watch I fail, nijue imefail and I've learned.
Yeah.
But you know, most of the time it doesn't fail.
By the way, kuna vitu gizi, they just need you to have confidence to confront it.
Vitu kama SEO niliona na kina Esther. You know, nilikuwa najua kitu kama SEO. CapCut nilionanga na wewe. What else? There's something I learned from Mangoes. I don't know what. Captions.
Yeah.
Mangoes. Kuweka automatic captions on CapCut. You know, I never needs to know how to do that. The most surprising thing is, juzi, watu wanafikiria I know how to run ads.
Yeah.
That's what people think. That I have learned this for. Do you know how long I have known how to run ads? 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And let me surprise you.
Yes.
I learned how to run ads from someone.
Absolutely.
Akanifunza how to run ads.
And now it's working for you. Now you're in a position to teach other people how it works.
Now for me, I'm very good at executing and seeing opportunity. If I can get 100,000 by training you how to run ads, juhujui na mimi najua, and it is knowledge ya 3 weeks, and I can package it in a very nice way na nikufunza, why not? So many people are very bad at executing. Talk less, execute more. Let your results speak for you.
And sometimes with this whatever it is that you're growing, sometimes at some point in life you'll have to bury your head in the sand, so that you don't concentrate don't concentrate on the outside noise, because sometimes it's too much. People will come with opinions on how you should do that thing, and anyway umeona your vision. Sometimes the more you do, the less you see in terms of outside noise. So do more, be more occupied, na ikiweza kana be preoccupied with that which you think should work for you. So now, as we summarize this up, the power of starting small is you understand the seed that you're planting. So when it comes to harvest time, you won't be surprised by the harvest. If at all you have been umekuwa ukipalilia vizuri, umekuwa ukipea the nutrients, all that, not unless now you plant a seed yenye hata wewe unajua kabisa you have to be a fertile ground for it to germinate properly. Yeah, uwezi penda kuplant kwa mawe just because unamwagilianga maji you expect it to germinate. Throw that seed on a fertile ground. So if it is a skill that you are learning, be a fertile ground. And a fertile ground, by the way, means don't be your own enemy.
True.
There's something Esther was talking about, self-sabotage.
Yeah,
usikue tunakupea gun twende kwa vita, you shoot yourself in the leg.
Unasema wacha nijitambarize.
Wacha nione kama ina work tu mguu. See, my brother, you are supposed to shoot the enemy. Yeah. The enemy is too huge, let me shoot myself in the head.
Let me kill myself.
Yeah, so start where you are with what you have. Building a business is very much possible. Building a brand is very much possible. Building yourself as a person is very much possible. Reason why, there is evidence of people who have done that. By the way, that's the only motivation mimi nakuanga nayo. Someone has done it, and I'm a human, na tuko kwa hii dunia yenye tuko na 24 hours kila mtu. I can also do it.
I like that statement.
Yeah.
See you in the next episode.
My name is Daddy Blessing.